Hey everyone, welcome back to Drawbridge Finance. My name's Levi Woods, and today I want to talk to you about rule number 5 of my personal rules of investing. It's choosing flat fee commissions over percentage-based commissions. All right, everybody. So today we're talking about rule number 5 of my personal rules of investing, and the concept is so simple. What we want to do is pay less commission fees. So over the long term, if we choose flat fee commission structure over percentage-based commission structure, we will save money in the long run. Okay, everybody, I built this little chart so we can analyze the comparison between management expenses of a percentage-based fee and a flat fee. So on the left, we are talking about a management fee of 1.85% annually. This is everything in the blue. On the right, we've got a professional advisor, but he has chosen to charge an annual administration fee of $126. And then every time you make a transaction, you're going to be charged a fee specifically for that transaction. So on the left side, you're going to have annual fees that occur every year because this is part of the management process. So they're constantly changing the funds that are in your account, and this would be the type of fee associated with like a mutual fund or an ETF. So it's important to look at the percentage of the fee on the management side compared to the flat fee structure. Now, most investors out there or most advisors are charging in this left side the percentage-based fee structure. And what I'm encouraging you guys to do is look for advisors that will charge this flat fee. The reason for that is because over time, it just makes more sense. So this chart is set up so that we can do investment contributions in this column, and we've got 10 years of contributions, and then we're assuming a rate of return, and we can adjust that as well, and that'll adjust the outcome of both columns. So this would be our value of the investment over time each year on the percentage-based side, and this would be the value over the flat fee-based side. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, the important thing to look for here is the bottom portion. So on the flat fee side, we've got these green cells over here and these 3 cells on the percentage side. And those are going to switch back and forth between red or green depending on which one is the lesser fees for that particular investment. And you're going to see at some points we are going to have lesser fees on a percentage-based structure. Let's take a look at this. So I've got it set up. Initially, we've got $10,000 is the initial contribution in year 1, and we've got a 1.85% fee. If it returns 7%, at the end of 10 years, you've got a total worth of $16,523, or return on investment of 65%. Now, if we had taken that same $10,000 and we had put it into a flat fee structure, our fees would have been much higher. In this percentage base, it was $185, and on the flat fee side, we actually have a total of $426 in this first year for these initial transactions. So we're assuming that we're buying 3 different products. We're paying $100 each for the transaction, and then our annual admin fee. So our investment value at the end of the first year on the flat fee side is much less. Subsequently, on the second year, it is also still less. But over time, this starts to catch up. By year 5 of this investment, all of a sudden, the flat fee structure has pulled ahead and is now worth more. And by the end of it, you have $17,000 compared to $16,000. So your return on investment, you've made an extra 8% over that 10 years, so about 0.8% per year. The reason I built this chart was so that we could play with it, because I know that when we have a 1.85% fee, there's got to be times where it is less money. So let's just take a look. Let's play with these numbers. Let's say your initial investment was $100,000. The flat fee structure still wins in this case. Let's say we had $10,000 in the first year, and then we contributed $10,000 each year for that 10-year period. Now, this drastically increases our amount of fees that we're paying here. But over the 10-year period, our total fees are still only $4,000 compared to $11,000 on a percentage-based system. let's continue this further. Let's look at, what if we had a $400,000 portfolio? Now, I know a lot of you are not thinking that you have a $400,000 portfolio, but I just want to show you that if we go to these extremes, what happens? Well, still, we're winning on the flat fee side. What if this percentage was lower? Let's drop it down to some crazy number, like 0.65%. What happens then? Now, what we're going to assume is that as this investment contribution gets lower, we will eventually get to the point, because this fee is so low percentage-wise, it will eventually be less than the total here. So let's take this down and find out where that break-even point is. Let's go to like 40,000. Now, even at 40,000, we're still making on there. So at a 0.65% fee, $20,000, it's cheaper over 10 years to have it invested in a percentage-based system. But that's not the case for most of these. Most of them are anywhere between 2.85%, which drives that way up. Your total fees on only a $20,000 investment become $7,000 over 10 years compared to $1,800 on a flat fee-based system. Shockingly different, actually. So you can see it's like a 30% more on a flat-based system. I'm going to go back down to 1.85, which is TD's current mutual fund fee structure. And then I want to play with this and say, okay, well, how low do we have to go? What if we had only $500? Well, of course, at $500, it is way better for you to be in a percentage-based system, because you're only paying like $9 the first year in fees at 1.85%. On this flat fee system, you're paying $126 right off the top. Now remember, this is for a professionally managed portfolio, so that's kind of where you have to decide when are you going to convert over to a professionally managed portfolio, as opposed to just buying mutual funds from the bank, which are also professionally managed, but they're like a grouped together fund and they're not specific to you. You're dealing remotely with the fund manager who's purchasing on your behalf, but you never speak with that person that's making those actual investment decisions on the phone or via email. You never ever get contact with them on a mutual fund. But this chart will show us that at $5,000, at $7,000, at $7,000, that's the switch kind of here. So if we only had $6,000 at 1.85%, it's cheaper to go with the flat fee-based system. Now, what if you only had $2,000 and then you contributed like, $1,200 a year? Let's take a look at that. If you've got small amounts, it's cheaper to go with the 1.85% or this percentage-based structure. But there's always a point where you get to that will be worth it to switch over to that flat fee-based system. And that, generally speaking, is around the 10,000 mark. So once you hit that as your initial investment, you should be switching over to a flat-based system. Now, the interesting thing here is, let's just look at what happens if the return on investment is terrible. What if we go like negative on this? Then on $10,000, again, cheaper to go with a percentage-based system, because you're losing money every year, so your fees are going down, and here the fees are going the same. But if this investment was worth $20,000, again, even on this percentage-based system with these fees that are going down and down and down, it's cheaper to go with flat fee once you hit a certain point. Once your investments hit that $7,000 to $10,000, and definitely by the 10,000 mark, once you've hit that, you 100% want to go over to a flat fee-based structure with an advisor. And now I know I've said before, they're very, very difficult to find, but there are people out there that do this type of structure. This fee structure is actually off of the Odlum Brown website, which is a Canadian brokerage account. So these are current as of June of 2017, and these are the actual rates that you would be paying. So if we put some money here in the future, you can see it's charging us per transaction, but even on a loss, you lose less money going with a flat fee structure over a percentage-based structure, even if your original investment is losing year over year over year at this minus 3%. And especially if you're getting a massive rate of return, then your money gets compounded so much faster with these flat fee-based structure. Now, this seems so simple. In actuality, it's not very simple at all. Most of the brokers out there charge a percentage-based fee, so we are forced to really search high and low for a broker that will charge these flat fee commissions. That's rule number 5. That's why I look for advisors that only charge a flat fee-based system once your account is worth $10,000 or more. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get rich together.